President Trump is cutting some of his tariffs on groceries. He signed an executive order on Friday lowering tariffs on things like beef, coffee, tomatoes, and bananas. Now, this move comes as grocery prices around the country are rising, sparking affordability concerns for voters. Also on Friday, the White House said it is reducing tariffs on imports from Switzerland from 39% to 15%. That could lower the price of things like watches and medical equipment. In exchange, Swiss companies agreed to invest at least $200 billion in the U.S. Look at those nice watches. To this now, the government is open again, but the repercussions caused by the legislation signed to do it are just beginning. The spending bill approved Wednesday includes a provision, for example, that would essentially shut down an entire industry that generates $23 billion annually. In a year, certain hemp products, including CBD oils, will become illegal, Schedule 1 narcotics. Now, supporters of this ban essentially say the 2018 Farm Bill created a loophole allowing the spread of unregulated hemp-derived THC. While the ban satisfies its supporters, though, it is already creating tremendous amounts of uncertainty and new problems for hemp growers. Joining me now to discuss is Rod Kight, an attorney and expert in hemp law. Rod, thank you so much for joining us this morning. First, can you break down exactly what is at stake here and what is set to change for your industry?
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. And, what's at stake here is really the future of an entire multi-billion-dollar industry in the United States that has a lot of support of the American public, that employs thousands of people throughout the United States, and has been a real boon for small businesses. And so the products that have become pretty commonplace in the United States, as were mentioned earlier, the CBD oils, and also products will become illegal on November 12th, 2026, a year from now.
Rod, were you surprised by this element ending up not just in the government spending bill, but ultimately passing in the spending bill, even though, you saw Senator Rand Paul trying to stop it in a last-ditch effort?
Right. Well, we've had a huge amount of support in Congress, and in particular from Senator Paul, and we were surprised. The industry was very surprised. It's been an industry that has had some battles, certainly at the state level and even at Congress, but this really took everyone by surprise, and we believe that it was really sort of an insertion, a last-minute insertion into the bill. It was a must-pass type of a bill. And that really was not a referendum on the hemp industry or hemp products, but really was something that a lot of members of Congress didn't really have any information about and voted really to reopen the government and not to ban hemp.
Rod, what would you say to folks like Senator Mitch McConnell, who has argued that this has fixed a loophole which companies have been exploiting to create more intoxicating substances? What would you say to that?
Sure. Well, I would say that that's just wrong to begin with. This is not a loophole. The law is actually very clear. And I would put it into context that we had a 2014 Farm Bill that legalized what was then known as industrial hemp that sort of initiated this industry and CBD products. And instead of shutting that down or just continuing with that definition, in 2018, the Farm Bill actually radically expanded on the definition of hemp. And the industry has been growing for almost a decade now. If it were such a problem, then it would have been shut down, long ago. And in fact, it's not going to be shut down for another year. If this really was an urgent situation, then we wouldn't be waiting for a year. But the bottom line is the law is very clear, and it says what it says, and it supported the birth of a major industry in the United States that Americans like and use products, which has been growing rapidly every year.
Well, and that's the interesting thing is that, exactly as you said, this action essentially will take a year to go into effect. What actions are members of your industry taking now, as I understand, to try and prevent this from going into effect?
Sure. Well, this was, as I mentioned earlier, somewhat of a surprise, but the industry has been fighting battles, along the way here. And so the industry is primarily focused on getting education to members of Congress, uniting some of the sectors of the industry that haven't maybe been on the same messaging or beginning to come together for messaging. And so I think we'll see a big push in terms of educating the American public, educating members of Congress, and even educating state officials. The state officials have been more involved and I think are better educated. But we'll see the industry really come together over this next 12 months to preserve what we already have and what Americans clearly want.
Real quickly, Rod, just before I let you go, can you quickly just run down what people have been using hemp for over the course of the time that this industry really has blossomed?
Sure. Well, hemp is a product that people use for all sorts of different things, from minor pains and aches to, we hear there are studies about children using it for epilepsy. People use it for anxiety, for sleep, and it's just a very versatile plant that has quite a number of uses, and we're pulling the rug out from underneath all of those people who've come to pull themselves off of maybe some harder medications that they were using to treat certain things, to use a more natural product that helps them get through their day.
All right, well, this story clearly not over just yet, but something that we're going to be monitoring. Rod Kight, thank you so much for coming on and discussing it all this morning. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, still ahead.